This is the third of a set of reflections around my 83rd birthday and winter solstice 2024 about how to reduce work stress and make your life more interesting and productive. And here the first thing I would mention is another aspect of distraction, which I've talked about. Very often when I'm working on something difficult, it's stressful to do this, and as Yeats put it, all things can tempt me from the craft of verse. When you're doing something worthwhile but difficult, all sorts of things will come up. You'll suddenly think, oh well, I must remember to go and buy some coffee, or I must go and get that book from the library, or I must phone so-and-so, and whatever. These distractions, which in the long gone days when I used to be a Christian were supposedly put into my mind by the devil when I was praying, I was taught then that a good way to deal with the devil was to have a sheet of paper and write on it distractions or something, and keep it near you when you were doing something which was taxing and therefore stressful to a certain extent, and therefore it was nice to be tempted to do something easier and away from it. And on this sheet of paper I would just write down coffee or David or whatever it was that was distracting me, and then after I'd finished I would deal with that, and that made life quite a bit better and simpler. The next bit of advice is that, particularly now that we have such strong communication systems, emails and WhatsApp and the rest of it, we're constantly being chivied or invited or encouraged to take on new things, and often these requests are from people we like or to whom we have an obligation, and often they're exciting and attractive. But I long ago developed the idea that we can't do more than 3 or 4 things really well in our lives. I developed this in relation to my academic life. I could do good research, I could do good teaching, and I could do one piece of serious administration. But if I took on more than one of these, and 4, 5, 6, then I would lead a fragmented and unsatisfactory life. Now, the same is true for all of us, but the problem is how to discriminate what you should really like to do or should do, and what not, and that's up to you. But the other difficulty is saying no, because very often you do have an obligation, or there is some pressure. So the ability to learn to say no is a very important feature of how we should make our lives less stressful. And here I long ago learnt the art of the polite no. The English language has this device, what you say when someone says, Alan, will you become chairman of this committee? Alan, will you write the preface to this book? Etc., etc., is that you say, yes, and then a pause or some infill, and then but. So in one case, when I was asked to do a very quite busy and tiresome administrative job, I said yes to the person, but have you tried so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so, all of whom would do it much better than me because they would want to do it. I would do it out of obligation if absolutely necessary, but I don't want to do it and therefore won't do it very well. And they found someone else. So when someone says, it's very rude, obviously, just to say no. So you, as it were, in martial arts or yoga, you absorb the pressure, and then you come back, and that is a courteous and polite way of saying no. Yes, but. And you have to do that quite a lot. You have to avoid overcommitments. Undercommit and over produce or achieve is obviously very good advice. And that is the next bit of advice. The final bit in this session is about relaxation. When doing any stressful job, you need to relax every 20-30 minutes, for example, when reading or when writing or anything else, or even running. You need to put an effort into it, and then if you relax for 2 or 3 minutes a day, after doing this exercise of the mind or the body, then that will refresh you. So stop reading after half an hour, look around, focus your eyes on the distance or whatever, or stop running fast and just have a little walk and rest. And after an hour, have a slightly longer rest. After a couple of hours, take a break of 15-20 minutes, coffee break, etc. And this is very important, because the human mind and the body will refresh itself with a break. I applied this in my lectures and always used to stop after 30 or 40 minutes to give the students 2 or 3 minutes to recover, and they found this very useful. I do this on a larger scale, in that I've got into the discipline and habit of having a 20 to 30 minute nap in the middle of the afternoon, which refreshes me for the rest of the day. So relaxing, obviously doing physical exercise, at least 20 minutes, walking is very good for the brain and for the body. And my wife and I do 4 or 5 minutes simple yoga exercises in the evening. And I'm sure that all these things add up to a good discipline and keep us healthy, fit and happy.